From the news department of the Liberia Broadcasting System in Painesville, good afternoon and welcome to Newsline. 1 full hour of news, views, comments, background reports, and in-depth analysis, issues all about Liberia and the rest of the world. It's midweek, Wednesday, July 3, 2024. My name is Alfred Rogers. In the headlines this afternoon, Education Ministry targets 50% enrollment of volunteer teachers on government's payroll.
The target is 2,000 volunteer teachers in the system, and that process will commence August 1st and end the 30th.
Supreme Court entertains legal arguments in the case involving Gracious Rad and the Assets Recovery Team this Thursday. USAID Mission Director Jim Wright hails steady progress in awareness about the use of donated medicines by public health facilities. And away from home, Somalia and Ethiopia still in deadlock following latest talks over the Somaliland maritime deal. Also coming up is an Elbc commentary highlighting the alarming effect of alcohol consumption in Liberia. Details of these interesting stories, the news in French and simple Liberian English, Newsline Sports, all coming up. First, we take a bulletin of news read for us by Emmanuel Colley.
The Ministry of Education is expected to begin a nationwide vetting of 2,000 volunteer teachers. Speaking during public hearing at the Senate Tuesday, Education Minister Dr. Jaso Jala said the exercise will run from July 8 to the 31st. The Education Minister told the Senate that the assessment will establish the total volunteer teachers by gender, subjects, and qualification.
The idea here is to vet those through some form of assessment to see their readiness and trainability for providing education delivery service in our schools.
Minister Jala said following the assessment, the ministry will work along with the CSA to recruit 50% of the targeted volunteers for placement on government's payroll beginning August this year. Dr. Jala noted the process is aimed at strengthening the education sector of the country. At the same time, the Ministry of Education has disclosed plans to establish 3 regional hubs across the country. Education Minister Dr. Jaso Jala said the hubs will incorporate the monitoring and evaluation as well as inspectorate officers to carry out rigorous evaluation within the education system. Minister Jala noted the 5 personnel each will be trained and assigned at the regional hubs to carry out performance, infrastructure, and sustainability assessments of the system. She said the establishment of the hubs is expected to take place from August to December this year. Minister Jala spoke Tuesday when she appeared before the Senate Committee of the Whole to give the current status of the country's education system. The Supreme Court on Thursday, July 4, entertained legal arguments in a case involving Gracious Rad Incorporated and the Assets Recovery Team. Thursday's argument is in connection to a petition filed by Gracious Rad Incorporated cautioning the President's Executive Order 126 that created the Asset Recovery Team. Ahead of the argument, the chairperson of the Asset Recovery Team, Councillor Ellen Clark Martin, has since defended the President's Executive Order, say is consistent with Chapter 2, Article 5C of the Constitution. Councillor Martin dismissed reports that his team was troubled by Gracious Rad's petition, which has seen the Supreme Court place a stay order on the institution's activities. He maintained that they are prepared for the argument before the full bench of the Supreme Court of Liberia. USAID Mission Director Jim Wright recently visited the Lotrin Hospital in Zosolova County to observe how the hospital utilizes USAID donated medicines. In addition to monitoring the donated medicines, Mission Director Wright participated in a panel discussion highlighting the impact of the monitoring and awareness of donated medicines on public health facilities in Lofa. The awareness campaign is in direct response to the mismanagement and terrible life-saving medicines worth millions of dollars donated by the United States and its partners. Speaking in Lofa, Mission Director Wright said it is disheartening that hospitals and health facilities continue to experience consistent stock of medicine and oral malaria, as well as donated medications, while private pharmacies are fully stocked with donated drugs. At the same time, MD Wright said the monitor and awareness campaign is making some inroads because citizens hear radio messages that the medications are free, while health facilities are learning how to improve their accountability. A man believed to be in his late 60s has allegedly committed suicide at Nima Rubber Incorporated, formerly Cocopa Rubber Plantation in Nima County. According to sources, Maurice Gonu reportedly killed himself on Tuesday, July 2, while in police custody at the LMP Cocopa detail. He was being detained at the Women and Children Protection Section for allegedly refusing to support his children. Our Nima County correspondent called sources are saying Maurice Gonu had been threatening to kill himself when he was taken to court over child support by his ex-wife. Maurice Gonu has reportedly been on the plantation for more than 2 decades. A correspondent said this brings to 3 the number of suicides committed by many Nima in the last 2 months. Painesville City Corporation PPCC Police Director Melvin Turbert has warned disadvantaged youth against throwing waste on the streets of Painesville. Mr. Turbert said any disadvantaged youth apprehended in the act will bear the full weight of the law. He believes as the biggest city within the country, Painesville needs to be freed of uncontrollable waste.
If any less fortunate brother or sister caught bringing garbage onto the street, we'll have you arrested and you'll take us to the home of the person that gave you that garbage and we will have the person arrested and you pay the fine. Yeah, other than that, if you just refuse to pay the fine, we'll send you to court so you can set a deterrent.
The Painesville City Corporation Police Director also disclosed violators of the city ordinance will also be punished by the PCC. Mr. Turbot told Elbc the move by the PCC is part of its regulation to ensure the city of Painesville is given the good facelift. The Executive Director of Divvan Institute of Professional Studies Africa, Vita Momo, wants young people to explore new skills in technology. Mr. Momo said young people can achieve a lot more if they harness their skills in technologies. He believes skills development is critical to driving creativity and innovations in a new world. The DIPS Africa executive also disclosed that his institution is running an online leadership training for young people. Momo was speaking at an Elbc interview Wednesday in Painesville. And officers of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency River G County Detachment are investigating 6 persons for being in possession of various narcotic substances. According to our correspondent, the 6 persons were arrested in the mining town of Biblican near the border of Ivory Coast on Tuesday of this week. A correspondent said the 6 persons include 2 Fulanins, unidentified as Jallo, and 2 females, Felicia Chie and Esther Tor. They were arrested for reportedly peddling illegal substances such as kush and marijuana.
Emmanuel Colley and the news bulletin. Emmanuel returns a little later. That's when you listen to the international news. This is Newsline on Elbc Radio. One of the big stories we're following. USAID Mission Director Jim Wright shows steady progress in awareness about the use of donated medicine by public health facilities. Today's one now, the Ministry of Education has announced the vetting of 2,000 volunteer teachers across the country. According to Education Minister Dr. Jaso Jala, the move is part of processes leading to the improvement of the education system. As Samson David reports, the Education Minister made the disclosure at the Senate Tuesday during a public hearing on the education sector.
The vetting of the 2,000 volunteer teachers is expected to be done through a rigorous nationwide assessment. The Education Minister, addressing the Senate's Committee of the Whole, noted the process would establish the total volunteer teachers across the country.
The number of volunteer teachers quantifiably across the county